over and over and over again. But Breeze, this is a map where, XSET used to be, pretty renowned in terms of their gameplay on this one. Recently, though, have been slipping, and it is a must-win for them. I think if you go 2 maps down in a best of 5, it is almost impossible to make that comeback happen.
Yeah, I think they really need an upset win here to draw the series back level 1-1. FaZe upset on arguably XSET's best map. I think XSET need to pull deep here and try and do the same. They are a team that's fallen at that final hurdle repeatedly throughout their team's existence. And I think that 0-2 deficit would be incredibly hard for them to come back from. FaZe in a great position right now, on their comfort territory. See what they can pull out on the attack side.
Keep that confidence up, honestly. Desk was talking about it, the confidence booster of winning that first map, and you can see it manifesting itself already in mid. BCJ falls early.
BabyBay was not getting these entry kills, particularly. For FaZe, when they were playing on Split, it's a very different map here. He's going to be empowered by the initiator play and able to get down these long sight lines. XSET have taken a reactive play here and pushed out of halls, out of cave, and cleared this area.
They broke a trademark as well, so they're aware of it, at least FaZe Clan are. They're going to start to try and move their way up onto the site. Def's taking a very far back position. Doesn't want to try and anchor close to the walls. He's got his camp set up for it, and still he's going to be getting that tag there right off the trip. It does set him up for a kill. Cryo also found one a little bit earlier. BabyBay walking, knows there's a player at the archers. Knife going to be broken down. Can he find this one? The trade is there. Second collects it. Nice little pop pass around the corner, but the weaponry not ideal. Not really up to the task.
In the meantime, Cryo Arin taking this top fight. Superman with a peek finds Cryo. They know where Arin's positioned.
Up to Arin with the ghost. Taps it round, but Dicey's too consistent with it. Too clean with it. Ice cold. Pistol round going away a FaZe.
Pretty good pistol round as well, finding that entry pick, using Superman's wall to fake like it was a mid to A, and that actually pulled a lot of the players off the site. I like the response as well from XSET there, pushing out on cave. Did he get tagged by that? I mean, he died before he even could.
That really, is such a small shot.
Really cool recon dart as well there. Yeah, a lot of dynamic pushes and pulls around the map there. Both teams happy to move away from the standard positions that you would be flanking or fighting in, to adapt to what their opponents are doing.
Sure. When you're going up against a Neon, you got to expect it, Can't really hold in typical angles in case you get ran over.
And this time, the attacking team has actually won the pistol round, so XSET not afforded that extra money in order to force. So we're going to see a very standard round 2 here, where FaZe should be heavily favored.
It's got to be a bit worried here, but a lot of that utility actually just not missing him. Plant's going to start to go down. If BabyBay ends up pushing forwards here and doesn't check that one corner, can an angle be found for XSET to try and get something done? The answer is no. FaZe is just too aware.
This duo of Poised and BabyBay has been very clean with each other. Whenever BabyBay gets pressured, Poised is there to try and trade.
Partial shots. Within a little bit. Okay. Nicey though should be able to clean up. Surely there's one.
One enemy
Ended up buying a rifle into this one.
Yeah, I mean, BabyBay Dicey love doing that. If you give them enough money, they will have a rifle round 2. And Cryo's the last player alive here. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to do too much damage. And Dicey collects that kill.
Yeah.
4 ult points for him already in the second round. Going to be looking to try and build those up in round 3. And FaZe have got some decent equipment to take with them into this bonus.
What's this adjustment going to be really now? XSET have got a bit of information just in terms of how they've been playing this one, but honestly, FaZe have been playing with a bit of nuance to it. You described it with the pistol round strat in terms of that fast lane that was sent up. It kind of almost looked like it was going to be the A split.
Yeah, they even threw the Viper wall to fake that too.
Yeah.
So Def is going to move his Cypher setup over to the A site, using some kill trips, using a camera as well. The hope is that BabyBay will simply run into a trip, give them the first kill, and they can play retake off the back of the cam. This Viper wall. Oh no, sorry, that's the fast lane that they put down at the top. Whoa, BabyBay's completely caught.
Stunned up.
Stunned up as well. You rarely see that.
Revealed, but nobody was really in position to follow up on it. Still shock dart. Holding close to the wall. The pressure is on. It's mounting. FaZe are now just squeezing from every possible position. The players, can they hold on to anything there? You can see the utility was sent flying. Second, he took out Poised of his own fragment nade. There's a 3v3, and that is when it gets particularly dangerous.
Cryo roughly knows the position of Baby. They can see him jumping as well. So that's going to be a free one. Back into a 2v2. And Superman and Flyer are a long way away. 1 shock dart, 2 snake bites.
Set up for them to play this post plan, though.
Yeah. And Cryo has a single smoke that he could put on top of the spike.
Time's running out. If XSET end up just bleeding this clock down by not really playing with too much pace, it'd be dire for them. And there it is. Snake bite into the shock dart. That's an insta-kill. Aaron just could not stand up to it.
For Cryo, I just don't think he has the time here. Even though he's able to get the kill, Superman on the flank too. And what a successful bonus round for FaZe that was. In fact, the snake bite didn't even hit particularly well. There was a small area that Aaron could have tried to defuse without becoming vulnerable, but in all of the pressure and the chaos of it all,
When time's running low.
as the time is ticking,
Yeah.
the combo worked perfectly for FaZe. And Baby Bay able to do so much damage there by playing aggressively once they already have the site.
Look at this.
If there had been a single player watching Halls there, the round
he would've
goes
gone down.
completely differently.
Yeah. Taken care of. Bay choosing to just invest in the Spectre because he's got that ultimate. Overdrive, seeing if he can beam any of them down. He seems to just get ridiculous value out of it.
Yeah, I've never seen
any other player.
I've never seen a Neon get as much value out of it as Baby Bay does. It's all the Crossfire and Overwatch
Sure.
kind of experience that he has. A lot of these players with a Crossfire background.
Oh, there we go. Doesn't even need the ultimate at the end of the day. Forced into a favorable fight there as Zekin just swings into the Viper wall, but FaZe are playing this nice and slow, just waiting. XSET, of course, the ones who need to be taking some risks. Viper wall goes down, though. Flash, that is right in front of Cryo's face.
A Dicey, meanwhile, is just the slowest lurk in the world. Up through elbow, now starting to wrap nest. XSET had a timing here. The spike has been dropped. And now Dicey's in a weird position.
This is bizarre. Gun swapped around. Cryo, does he know that there's a player close? It's up to Dicey to try and catch the lurk. BCJ finds him.
And that's a game changer.
Just spotted him. Cryo's just hopping around.
Yeah, he was the one player with a rifle in this round. Got enough kills to be able to build up his Blade Storm too. And Baby Bay is booking it to be.
Yeah. A dire situation. Wall put up as well. Baby Bay's going to be weakened as the decay kicks in.
And that round maybe getting overcooked just a little bit. Looks like guaranteed XSET thrifty from here unless Flyer can pull out a 1v4 with 10 seconds.
3 players watching it.
Simply impossible.
Not happening.
And that round, XSET go for something a little different. So the majority of their defense side so far in this series, they've been trying to play retake against FaZe. They've been going for retake setups, and sure, there's a trip there from Def, and in the previous map, you know, they had a couple of rounds where they were playing aggressively. But that was a very different round. They played on the site with their thrifty buy, trying to deny the plant coming down, anchoring far forward positions, stopping Baby Bay from getting all the way to yellow.
I will find you.
And the round plays out
This goes here.
completely differently. If
Gets
FaZe are not
back
allowed
into
to
it.
get into post plants, that could be the solution for XSET.
You want to play?
Fast mid take
Let's
from
play.
FaZe. Dark clears a bit of space. Baby Bay happy to take it. Tour de Force was ripped through the hands there of Dicey. Going to be working with that one into this round here with the ultimate. Cryo. An aggressive peek. All the ways for that to go wrong.
Actually finding the tag there onto Flyer, I think. Down to 28
Players
health.
are working
Finished
away
off.
anyway. Still through double doors. The stun. It's connecting, but BCJ with a shock darts. Gliding through the air, rebounding, finding the players, and yeah, everybody's getting dropped.
Cryo finishing things off with a shorty as well. XSET finding a bit of a solution here. Of course, not the best buy in the world from FaZe. Now they'll have rifles in their hands again. And the timeout here called from FaZe.
Okay.
So using this one pretty early on.
It is early, isn't it?
About the middle of the first half.
Feels like they've been pretty varied in their approach to each round.
Yeah, and this is something that they were struggling with a little on Breeze. On their attack side, was getting funky with the fakes. Poised as an IGL loves going for the QB sneak play, the fake play, this kind of stuff. But the compositions that they've been playing recently with the Neon don't lend themselves necessarily to that style. And trying to play some of the slower rounds, some of the more informational rounds, can be a bit tricky.
Yeah. You say that, but you can, I mean, you can effectively fake pretty well with a fast lane, and we see teams do it pretty often, honestly.
Yeah.
Fracture gameplay as well when you see the Neon players.
Yep. The issue with it sometimes is that it's a bit easy to read.
Yeah,
when
there's not enough
with nothing
push behind it with the rest of the utility, you immediately just know.
But to FaZe's credit, they've actually been pretty good at mixing things up. They're attacking half on split. They were running the same kind of play pretty often with the A ramp control, but here on Breeze, they've gone for a variety of different approaches. What an interesting Viper wall that Aaron has used off the rip here that just blocks off the double door connector and blocks off halls. So they have a Viper wall here that they can use to stop some kind of A split, or at least make it more difficult for FaZe.
They got to be reading this. This has to be some sort of tendency. FaZe going for the A split, maybe when they've got Babyface ult online and the no command. But, I mean, it gets right. Look at the players. They're finding it difficult to just chew through this one. They're scared of it. There's going to be the Hunter's Fury. Babyface, though, he's sending it all the way through. BCJ will be rewarded in the end, though. Gets that one pick off onto Superman.
That cancelled the Viper's Pit as well. Absolute chaos. Improvisational plays all over.
Babyface suppressed. He doesn't have access to his ult. Put away, and time is running low on it. It's going to start to expire. Running down. He's being spammed at this box. He's only got the stinger in his hands. He gets the one pick off. BCJ, though, still putting in good work. The spike is down now for FaZe. Could be favorable for them as long as they take these fights. Oh, and they are taking them.
Oh, what a fantastic series of shots at the end there from Flyer. It's a 3v2 for FaZe, and Cryo's in a bit of a wonky position with the operator. But those shots were clinical. And FaZe managed to navigate around that strange defensive setup fairly well. Their initial idea was to use a Viper's Pit so that they could cross the site.
Yeah.
Which I've never seen before on Breeze like that.
Salvaged a bit by Babyface's aggression, though.
Yes, and it definitely was. I think the rounds in which Babyface is able to get aggressive and play around that yellow box have been the rounds that the FaZe look best.
Cryo with the operator. That is such an aggressive peak. He had the dash off, was obviously queued up, so he's able to get back out of there. To safety. Okay, BCJ dodging, juking, but that tag onto him. Surely not. How does Flyer track him like that?
BCJ.
That's absurd.
Looking like a rabbit.
That is absurd.
Now the A side weakened up. Aaron has a lot of here in his anchor position.
I mean, he's got to just pull out some ridiculous stuff, hasn't he? He can't quite get the second one. Only grabbing the first. Babyface as well, just wandering his way through the double doors to help support the rest of their team as they're going for that A hit with the spike already down. The question is, with that kill, finding a second one, how is he so consistent?
Flyer on a lurk play as the Sova in that round, collecting these last two players. And the XSET guys had no idea that he was there.
No clue.
Why would you expect the Sova to be in that position? FaZe are running away with it now. These last two rounds, the serious rifle v rifle rounds, FaZe have had a large advantage and been able to win a lot of the crucial duels that have decided how the round plays out.
Important time for a timeout. I was just thinking it. Series starting to run away from them. Yeah.
Weirdly, Flyer barely adjusts his ultimate at all, and BCJ, in fact, is just hopping back into it, expecting Flyer to overreact to one of the pings.
Yeah, pull it back a little bit.
Cryocells has been trying to op a lot in these defensive rounds and get aggressive and get involved, but he's actually 0 for 0 on first kills to first bloods. After 7 rounds of play, your Jet player on defense has not been involved in a single opening duel.
Honestly, Cryo, he hasn't really been finding him.
No.
He's been trying to go for those plays aggressively, but
he's been looking for them, but FaZe have been dodging him. And what that often means for XSET is that they're putting an operator into his hands, making a serious financial investment there, and it's not paying off.
No.
They've lost a player on the other side of the map, or lost the site entirely before Cryo can really do anything. He's going to have his Blade Storm active, presumably for this eco round.
Right here.
And he will be hunting. In quite a passive position over by Bridge at the moment. Maybe just playing a bit of a rotate, trying to react to the FaZe pathing.
I wonder if they're just going to be trying to set something up, maybe. I was thinking possibly an aggressive play for some mid-control, but no. They investing ultimates into this round.
Yeah,
the half buy.
Starting out with the Viper's Pit immediately over a B.
That's really interesting. I mean, they got a trip inside of it as well.
Yep, it's a great combo to work with. And it allows Death to watch towards halls with BCJ instead.
Fast line comes up. That's going to pull the knife out of Zekken just to try and push them back.
It looks like this is going to end on A. You can see that XSET are thinking the same.
Yeah.
That means Zekken's going to be asked to anchor the site pretty heavily.
Interesting little fight and duel that's being taken down the halls. Maybe cleans that one. It is a 4v4. Cryo tagged. Okay. We'll skip away. Don't want your head taken off. Viper wall up. That's the updraft, and he's found his mark. Superman down. Zekken with the rifle. Of course, he invested it into this round, and he is once more coming up with significant damage. But Babyface looking to try and answer back. 3 kills in the round. Has to dodge to the side. A glide. One stray shot. It was a jump from BCJ, but it is that 2v1, and the timing from Aaron lurks it around. The distraction from BCJ just dragging the attention of Babybay.
Nice try from Babybay towards the end, but XSET really got going there with Cryocell's knives. Still not an opening engagement, and in fact, a bit of a weird decision from XSET again in terms of how they took the opening fight.
Just a weird round in general. Half of them decided to buy, half of them didn't.
Yeah, XSET were managing their economy fairly well, though, considering they still wanted to win that round.
Of course.
But they wanted the safety net of still being able to invest in the next if it failed. But yeah, the way that they challenged down halls in that round was just double swinging it with Def and BCJ instead of having some kind of flash for Zekken and then peek with Cryo.
Sure.
It feels like XSET are not the same well-drilled team when it comes to Breeze, but they're trying to muscle it out here.
Zekken feeling the pressure. He's just dumping utility to the back of that site, and he was so worried about the double doors push because there's really not much of a presence in mid. The exception of Cryo with that operator holding a deep sight line.
This one's for the trip at the back of halls. Taking that one out easily. Perfect shot. That now reduces a little bit of the information, but BCJ is watching over in that area anyway. And XSET are putting a premium on opening the door. They're playing around switch themselves. You can now hear it closing. After BCJ's already watched halls. And once more in his anchor position.
And this is going to be a lot on the line for Zekken to try and hold back all of this. The pressure, that stun, oh my goodness, just fills in all the gaps, doesn't it? Zekken is just being pressured so goddamn hard, and he will be removed, but not before BCJ and Cryo have got the rotation coming through. Cryo's in mid with the operator, he's watching that one, but look at this counter lurk. Dicey's there, a bit of a backstab in play, but 2 players left alive for FaZe. Baby, I mean, the overdrive's not the best. He's trying to hit those quick shots, rattling it off. He was doing a bit of damage, he's finding it in the end still. Now, Dicey left alone in the 1v2. Can't quite get it, isolated. XSET collect it.
Much better round from XSET there on their defense. I know they've won 2 back-to-back, but I love the way that they played that, actually. Trying to go for the plant denial, and FaZe's really late lurk from Dicey through elbow is not getting the goods. This is the second time that he's tried that. The first time caught by BCJ once he got into backside. And Brent, both of the times that Dicey's gone for that lurk, FaZe have struggled to get the plant down on A. They just don't have the ability to push forwards. They don't have enough rifles, enough firepower to get into the post plant and allow the lurk to work.
What is the read here from XSET? They have stacked over towards B, right into this half-buyer phase.
Yeah, pretty perfect read. Now as the Viper wall goes up.
Oh, just disjointed him? How was Dicey getting that one? This is straight through main, just holding. Trying to take the fights. Of course, that's the comfort territory of FaZe when they can take those duels. Long sight lines for them, but it's the 1-for-1.
Dicey is weak here. And he's the player with a rifle. But the 41 health actually might be important there. Doesn't die to a single body shot from the Vandal. FaZe are going to go and explore the rest of the map. It looks like perhaps they want to return back to B, but the spike is getting pretty heavily committed over on the A side of things. I just struggle to see how FaZe are going to be able to get in here. Poised gets another ult point.
That seems like a kind of round where, honestly, FaZe are just happy to send a bit of individualism into the round.
Yeah.
Flyer takes some space up into mid. They can grab a couple of the orbs. Maybe somebody peeks into Dicey for him to get a pick, but other than that, the game plan now with 30 seconds left, going to try and end up on B.
And now we have a slow round like this. Look at how much value Def Cypher is getting. Unfortunately, though, the trap wire was a bit too high.
He just crouches under it, or what? Or just
yeah, Flyer's got underneath it.
Just jumped over it, maybe a bit of sublime movement, but Flyer, this timing right now is everything. Where? Not quite. Kill's going that way. Flyer whips it around, and BCJ tries to collect it. Not happening.
Spike planted.
Oh, in theory, that Cypher setup is so good. It gives them information everywhere.
How did he get over that?
I think you got underneath it. Just when we watched it from Flyer's POV, it looked a little too tall. A little too high up. I think he's just on the limbo straight underneath them.
Not ideal, is it?
And that is the play that's just ruined XSET in this half, I think. Their economy's still going to be fine, and Cryo's going to keep his operator. But yeah, that's pretty brutal.
Very brutal.
Because in general, I mean, I was just about to praise Def's setup, because if he hadn't made that small mistake with the trap positioning, otherwise he's getting really good information everywhere. He's got a trip at in tunnel, he's got a trip at the back of halls, and he's got a cam over on the A site, and he's anchoring B. He is everywhere. Unfortunately, just a minor mistake with his setup. Not in terms of the positioning on the map, but just a small positioning on which brick to attach it to. And it all comes tumbling down.
30 seconds left.
Take a look at the replay here. He's just able to get under it.
No way.
Looking down at the floor does
way.
alter your model slightly so that you can slip under some of those marginal trips. Brutal. Def just getting snuck up on him. What a 180 as well to take down BCJ.
Yeah, nasty.
See, Def knows what happened there, I think. Always rough when you have the responsibilities of the IGL. You really want to take your team to that first international tournament.
2 rounds left in this half.
Revealing area.
FaZe got everything going for them. Taking a spike up into elbow here. That is a tag. BCJ, okay. Significant damage being done there, actually. A stray shot onto Poise drops him down to 49 health, but the hit comes through regardless of it. And it's up to Def, but he is being hard cleared. Shot darts and the lot, all the utility just being used into that corner, but maybe the lease of life here for XSET. Getting a couple of pickoffs at the long sight lines. Second just can't quite get it, but Cryo is still doing great work with the operator.
Babyface looking to get aggressive, takes a tag himself. They've got a combined 57 health between them.
One shot will do it. Cryo's aware. Pulls out the classic. He knows that he doesn't really need the operator in hand to try and bring down Baby Bay. Poised maybe though, might be a different ask, and there we go. A jiggle. Not even a jiggle, just honestly just...
It's just a rough angle
subtly
that
taking
Cryo's
that.
holding.
Yeah.
Poised sees him far before he appears on Cryo's screen.
Up to Aaron. He thinks he's at Archers. The wraparound! No way! What?
He's anticipating Baby being tucked up to the box, and instead, that's a mid-range wall bang.
You are kidding me.
All off the damage that Zekken was able to do with the Marshall. What a clutch. What a thrifty.
Oh, boy. And that's just a little pre-fire. Value play. Couple of bullets in there just in case Baby Bay's playing close.
Yeah. Great awareness. And a lot of the time, those plays are not going to work. The player's going to be positioned somewhere else, but always worth going for.
He weaves it in and out as well as he's just clearing, but what a Red Bull clutch.
Aaron has been great for them in the playoffs so far, coming up with a big round there. You can see what it means to them.
That's a good spot.
You can see the look on their faces as well, the intense focus and pressure that seems to be applied to these players. XSET 5-6.
Deploying drone.
Final round of the first half. And that's going to be the Hunter's Fury.
Oh, the counter
rip on either side. Both players just trying to find a mark, honestly, off the back of, I think, a bit of that utility that was being used down in mid.
It's a -8 and a first kill for Cryo. He's finally found that first blood that he's been looking for over onto Baby Bay. FaZe's attack rounds have been stunted here. XSET have just been able to position themselves wonderfully. They've given FaZe mid-control in almost all of these rounds.
Almost every time.
And chosen to hard anchor the sites instead. A good adaptation that's working for them. But can they deal with the pit?
I think everything's going to be on the shoulders of Flyer's Lurk, but they've been doing this so often. BCJ was watching the angle. Repositions himself. Will he catch it in time? Flyer wins out the fight. 30 health now. But he has to do a little bit more. Maybe his sheer presence can just distract and pull them away. As you can see, the spike is actually rotating all the way now over towards the B site. Cryo, he's left alone. He has the operator in his hands. What can he do here? The angle's taken. The trade is there. Dicey does return. The fire and Flyer right in mid. 2 shots found. It's returned regardless. But now it's just a 1v1 once more.
You want to play? Let's play.
Aaron good for the clutch in the previous round. Can he pull it off again and get XSET level at the half?
He's pulled out the ultimate. Why not? Final round of it. Pull to force locks down that main angle. The wall's going to be dropping. How does Aaron win this one? It just doesn't seem like it should be favored, but he's peeking around, taking the angles, trying to be methodical with the way he's clearing it. The TP back round the corner. Oh my word.
Oh, and Dicey just losing his nerve in the final moment there. Doesn't know where Aaron's approaching from. Could be tunnel, could have lurked in at the back of his wall, could be deeper ladder. And he goes for the rendezvous.
Okay. Just out in the open, gave him the shot. That's going to be the first half, ladies and gentlemen. A Red Bull clutch to end that one. Still, you're going to see the continuation of this map just after the back of this one. The 2-minute break. Give a bit of a breather, I think, for these players and these teams as well, because it has been so back and forth. We'll see you in just a few. Very different situation, I think, from what we know of FaZe Clan in these playoffs. I mean, a lot of these maps that they've been playing up to this point have been so one-sided on one half, and then there's the possibility of a comeback or a fake comeback, whatever, this way, that way. But no, even in this best of 5 here at the lower finals.
It definitely feels like a different story when both these teams are matching up. And FaZe have been good on both sides of this map. So the game is absolutely not over. XSET leaning on Aaron to pull out some huge clutches. 1v2 and a 1v1 to put them even. The pistol round is going to decide so much.
A lot on the line, but Dicey, the aggression is there, and he oversteps himself. Return fire, a bit of a trade. Maybe. Let's rip a couple of the stuns as well, just to make his mark is known. His presence is there, but Superman with the reposition here. They're doubled up. Him and Flyer, they're going to be able to win this one. The dash across, it breaks the crosshair placement. This breaks it completely.
There is no way that Cryo gets another there. 3 kills in the round on the pistol. He just dashed into Flyer's face and hit him.
I'm not going to lie. I think that might just be off the back of Cryo maybe activating his dash prior when the first kill comes through. And he didn't use it, so he was like, well, I might as well use it now to get into double door.
Absurd. Leaving things on the poise. Wow. Def is already so pushed up. He's going to be going for these lurks a lot, Def, on their attack side. That pistol is powered by Cryo, who is sat 18 and 9 currently on Breeze. Woken up, coming up with a big performance. Maybe not in terms of the first kills necessarily, but look at this one.
That's mad. That is mad.
They did not know that these players were at double doors, but they couldn't have chosen a better way of breaking the crosshair placement.
Yeah, and again, don't know if that was intentional.
I don't think it was.
I don't think it was. I think his dash was probably expiring and he just thought to use it to get in, but it gives him the information. Breaks the crosshair placement.
And again, the attacking team wins the pistol, so no force buys coming through. Snake Dart combo to see if they can pull off a cheeky pick at the beginning of the round. Aaron watches to see whether there's a Halls push coming through. Negative. And now just going for a pretty default A hit. Look at this Viper wall, though, from Aaron. Really deep. Allowing them to fight aggressively in this post-round.
They want to try and fight and hold control, I think, from a lot of the map. They don't want to give opportunities for any pop flash plays as well. That's why you see them just trying to take this one. And a wise move, I think, for them to make that one when Poise was holding that shorty in his hands. Eventually, the FaZe players end up dropping. XSET now leading in this map.
Nicely cleaned up. And you're right, Brent. We might see just a topsy-turvy series. All of your expectations would be, looking at how these teams have played on these maps before, that XSET are the superior team on Split, and they've also been slipping recently on Breeze, so you'd probably favor FaZe there. To put the series at 1-1. You heard the analyst desk talk about it. But these teams are trying to rewrite the expectations on both sides of the coin. This is a bonus round where Cryo is going to get a rifle in his hands. Only had a ghost with him on the second round. And definitely looking for these opening kills.
Yeah. Updraft play with the flash and the dart. Respect shown by FaZe as well. They're just backing away from all of that utility. But you have to be aware that they have given up control of mid. They're just holding these angles. It's a crossfire, as you can see, just a couple of pings as well into elbow. That's from Flyer. Making sure that nobody really pushes up onto Baby Bay when he's least expecting it. But for XSET, once again, happy to just play slow, cautiously.
Cryo has dodged the recon dart there, so it's possible they don't realize he's in this push position at mid. And XSET's mantra on this map on attack side previously was control the halls, control the universe. They just take a quick peek to see whether anyone from FaZe was pushing, and now it's back into a pretty standard A hit. Wow.
Cryo's just trying to catch that low timing. Still, they know Dicey was there. The knife was used prior. It caught onto him, and he disrespected it. He didn't teleport away.
I mean, his rendezvous may have been broken, actually, as well. I can't see the second one on the map.
30 seconds
Possible they took that one out with the nade, and he just stayed there for a little too long.
Knife prior, he couldn't use it.
Of course, right.
Yeah. Matters not. Regardless, though, FaZe still with the better rifles. They're going to be trying to wade their way through all of this utility, and they hear the footsteps. The timing is taken. 12 seconds left into the round. Def is firing off a couple of shots there. Flyer ends up getting caught out with a double swing, stun, and a snake bite. It's all now onto Def to try and do a bit of dirty work, but no, not quite capable.
It's a decent bonus round, but it hasn't harmed FaZe too much. They're still going to be able to keep a decent economy heading into round 16 here. And FaZe, despite losing that A-site anchor, able to retake fairly effectively.
Back and forth, back and forth.
If FaZe are going to be playing for retakes on this map, though, they need to find their group stage form. They were winning a huge amount of retakes, nearly 50% of their retakes during the group stage. That's madness. Most teams are nowhere near that number. In the playoffs, it's been down a little bit to around 30%. That's much more average. If FaZe can find anywhere near their group stage form on the retake game, it's going to be incredibly difficult for XSET to hold on.
Yeah.
Pretty far away from any ults being online right now. Though they may be generated throughout the round. XSET looking like they want to take some mid control early on. I think against FaZe, it's so important that you're in a position to shut down Baby. He's just wandering around.
Straight up on the wall.
Doing a tightrope walk.
What is going on, man? Hardcore up in mid. It's pressed, of course, so can't quite dash away, but it's just, again, the positioning of XSET is anticipating, I think, a bit of that aggression in mid. They're a bit of it out with the dart. It tags onto two of the players, so they know that they've taken mid control here. But it's just absorbing all of it.
XSET are doing a great job at absorbing that aggression. Def, with both of the cyber cages, knows he's not being pushed.
Oh, he's in trouble.
But he will be soon.
Off to the side. He needs to try and get some damage. And he's done a bit of it. Still Cryo whips around. A slight angle there. Flick of the wrist. At the back of the pyramid. Noise being cut. 50 seconds left on the clock here. The spike's still not down for them. But with that flash play, it's a perfect peek from Cryo, and he's rewarded with the kill. Still, this needs to go down, and the timing of it once more. He flicks to the side. Flyer does get the one. Down now to the 2v1. Superman. He's got to try and clutch this up. Cryo on the verge of getting an ace in this. Oh, there you have it. Crispy shots. The guy's feeling himself.
Who dares say XSET don't have heavy hitters? Cryo has woken up thoroughly, and he is dominating so far in this map. We were talking so much about how good Dicey was on split. He just seemed like he was everywhere all at once, finding the crucial kills. Well, Cryo wasn't really able to have the impact he wanted on the defensive side, but he was still getting kill after kill. And this time, now that he's on attack, and he can be the tip of the spear, diving deep into the sights with utility for him, he's just racking up all of the kills. 23 in 16 rounds. That's mammoth.
Carrying forwards the guns. I mean, a lot of the players ended up dying, so XSET are investing in back to zero on a couple of the players, but it's going to be the B-pop. Dash into the cloud burst. Over the side of things, you need to deal with Superman though, and eventually he will go down. Only the classic in hand, so there's a bit of significant damage to Def there, but with BCJ cleaned up, he's going to be affording them a rifle.
That's pretty rough. Maybe grabbing that kill also takes away good post-plant positions over by window. So XSET have to try and fight archers instead. And that means there's a player ready to collect them potentially, but they deal with the threat of poised. Now it's about the tunnel push.
Yeah, pretty smart adjustment from XSET. They're able to just take space off the back of that one as soon as BCJ goes down, and
yeah. Very well dealt with there. A kill from Baby Bay really could have posed a significant threat, and instead XSET making the call, getting proactive in the post plan, and adjusting beautifully.
Good.
Very clean. Looking much better on their attack side Breeze than we saw recently, for example, in their game against Optic, or the last couple of times that they've played it too. It felt like there was something off a little, but find the same level of synergy with their execs that they've showcased on Haven, for example. With Cryo dashing into his smoke, perfect flash from Zekken, and he comes out of the cloud burst, Cryo ready to entry. FaZe taking a timeout as they figure out what's the adjustment that we need to make here.
Yeah.
And XSET have been so diligent at the beginning of these rounds, absorbing mid-aggression, going back, checking to see whether anyone pushed halls, checking to see whether anyone pushed cave or double doors. It's very hard for FaZe to do something in the beginning of the round that's going to set them up for an advantage.
It feels like that's where they want to lean to in terms of their strengths, I think. Take a bit of that early map control in mid. Maybe, you know, we've seen BabyBay just running up on the walls.
Yeah. They could do something interesting, for example, though, where a push in one area of the map creates a trigger to push somewhere else. What I mean by that is you could try and push BabyBay deep into cave at the beginning of the round, not to fight, but just to wait there. And if he gets contact at any point, you send other people pushing down halls, for example. So even if BabyBay dies, you've taken another portion of the map when you know XSET are in, you know, somewhere else. These are the kind of ideas that FaZe could use to still have an aggressive, dynamic defense. You don't have to always go for a push at the beginning of the round.
FaZe positioning is pretty far back, honestly. It felt like they were only just decided where they want the players to sort of lean. You have the ultimates. Okay, Viper's pick gets dropped down. That's a bit later into the round. Through B main, and coincidentally, that's exactly where XSET are leaning as well. So now the drone comes through, tries to get that tag. I think it was timing ever so slightly. Oh, Hunter's Fury, that's just being let rip. BCJ gets the tag. Can he find a second one? Trying to predict the positioning.
Really interesting utility usage there as well. Throwing the drone out, and Def throws a cage for the audio cue. If Superman runs through that cyber cage and it makes the noise, that gives BCJ an information on where to ult.
Sure.
So really cool idea there with the cyber cage that I've never seen before. Just using it for the audio cue to set up for the Hunter's Fury, but the play was, broadly speaking, unsuccessful. Superman staying inside that pit. And that kind of locks off B main.
40 seconds remaining for this team here. That's the Viper wall. Sent across, scattered across. You can see even a snakebite was just launched across the site. Is this going to be enough to pull the FaZe players over? I mean, the idea from XSET here is that they just contact in tunnel, but there's one player who's watching it. His name's BabyBay. Not quite 7 AM, but he might make it work. Still holds it, but no. Def is the one who wins that fight out, but time is running low. You have to be worried about this player who's been lurking into the Viper's pit. Superman could be doing some significant damage with the Hunter's Fury as well. He eventually will fall there to the fragment nade.
How does he end up going down to the fragment? Zekken is carrying them through this, pushing away all of the players that could have contested the spike plant. As Cryo gets that one down. And now Dicey and Flyer are left in a pretty unwinnable spot.
Yeah, forced to save. Money's so low. Got to keep the weapons coming into the next one, especially the operator. That's a heavy investment.
What a call from Def in that round to go for the A fake, pull 3 of the players over to A, and then he entries on A and takes out BabyBay. Sometimes those plays from Def can end up going terribly. We've seen maps and series where he has really bad first deaths because he just wants to be the IGL at the front, leading his team and finding the timings. But when he's on his game, when he's able to find those entry picks like he did onto BabyBay there, it just opens up avenues for the map. And XSET are pulling this one away. FaZe's economy is going to be in a disastrous position, and XSET are 2 rounds away from being able to punch back in the series. Brian, we spoke at the beginning of this map about how important it was for XSET to get this. I think going down 0-2 would have been a bit of a death blow.
Yeah.
Or could still be a death blow if they're not able to close it.
Not many teams able to come back, I think, when they're 2 maps down in a series. It's BO5. At that point, you are open for the reverse sweep. Get into that kind of territory. There's a reason we don't see many of them in esports.
Yeah, they're special. Dicey taking an aggressive position here. It's been a very quiet map from him, especially compared to Split. And once again, it's another punish onto Dicey.
He goes for that play often. The aggressive peek into that one, but that off angle that Zekken was holding, it looked almost purposeful in terms of just where he was playing.
Dicey and BabyBay are 0 and 5 in first kills to first deaths since the pistol. I mean, they have been getting rolled on this half.
And now just being picked apart. One by one, the players just trying to lock down the side for FaZe, but they are losing it. Poise even going for a bit of a flank timing, but it was being watched the entirety of the time. And XSET on the verge of getting that round point for them. Reaching that 12th round would be massive.
It's a confidence booster as well. Feels like they're playing looser. Cryo's really woken up and having a huge impact, and they're actually able to shut down the 2 key players on FaZe. The rest of the FaZe squad has had some great performances in the series so far. Superman in particular, the player that's alive here, ended up putting out really good, consistent trading and fragging on Split. But the danger men are Baby Bay and Dicey, and if you're able to control them at the beginning of the round, suddenly things get a lot easier.
This tale of two halves that is following FaZe in terms of this performance.
Successful.
Big upticks and a drop. Rearing its head once more. XSET have firmly started running away with this one. One round away now from taking this map and evening up the series.
It's a great point, Brent. FaZe had 6 at the half, and they've only been able to put a single 1 on the board. Their first half v second half win rate in the playoffs is absurd. They're 58% in the first half. That's like you're playing like Optic.
Yeah.
You're insane.
Up to world-class level.
World-class level. Second half, they dropped down to 45%. That's like playing like TSM. So,
God.
FaZe have to be able to find that consistency, and they did it on Split. They did a great job in the second half on Split. But this time, it looks like all of the gas is out of the tank. And this is going to be a long series. You can't afford to fall off here.
Yeah, they've let it slip. One moment away for XSET to get themselves back into this series if they can even it up. All your confidence might be back off of it.
Now Superman trying to anchor the A site. Bit of a different setup here. Almost creating a kind of fast lane with the Viper walls.
Yeah. One next to the other there. Okay, fragment. And a snake bite. That is a lot of damage now being applied over towards Superman. And behind the pyramid. Still the cam just watching for this mid lurk just in case there's a presence there.
And they really are getting good value out of Def's Cypher. He's deep down halls as well. Opportunity for this to become an A split at any point.
Yeah. Looks like that timing. They just want to threaten a bit of that horse control. Cage, Cloudburst all comes through at the same time. Players now starting to swarm through. They're taking control of this. 1 second opens the Baby falling. Superman though, he's got to do a bit more. Finding second, finds another one. Still, the angles that is being held. His teammates now finally helping it and supplementing it up. Still BCJ, he might just put an end to it. Returns with 2. Spike is going to get planted. Post plans for them. Jiggle Peak, Dicey pre-aiming it toward a force in his hands. It's all down to Dev. Can he close this one out? FaZe desperate to stay into this map now. Knife into the back. Information gained, and they just lined up, but Dev couldn't get it.
For a moment there, it all looked too simple for Def. But just a slight reposition, and suddenly he had to reset the aim there. Poise comes out on top, saves the operator. The second round in this half for FaZe. Off the back of Superman's great anchoring, gotta say, massive credit to him. He's dodging all sorts of utility. He's dodging an A split. They've lost Hall's control. He has to try and avoid that angle as well. Slips around, grabs second, able to punish Cryo as he re-peeks here. Fantastic anchoring.
You've lost horse control. You don't really have much presence in mid. It could be coming from any angle, but I mean, he stays cool, calm, and collected. Now FaZe, they're being granted an opportunity. Can they bring this one to OT?
But the buy is so shoddy. Light armor on Poised. A glass cannon Vandal for Flyer. They need all of these wins. And they'll get easier as they go. This could be the most difficult one that they face.
Have to win out from here, though. It's the task that they've got.
Once more going for the Superman anchor towards the A site. Giving up mid-control completely to XSET. Not going for that early round aggression. Apart from Baby Bay, who's taking a creep towards double doors.
He just wants to hold it.
There's no potential here for him to get flashed out or, you know, recon darted out. There can't really be any aggression here from Baby Bay. He's just holding.
Not much has changed the game plan of XSET. They're still incredibly purposeful in terms of the way they want to play this one. Laceon popped off for Cryo.
Oh, you can see Baby Bay desperately wants to be.
His auntie.
They want information. Because at some point here, Flyer's going to get really scared. That they could be deep. On tunnel, they could be deep into nest.
Clubbers cuts to the cross, now the dash. Engage once more. Cryo still! He clears the angle and it is traded. 1 for 1 here. Superman though, holding up close and personal now. Up into A main. Flyer supporting him and all the kills once more. Going their way, rattled one after the other. Aaron though, 20 seconds left in the round for him. He's tagged up by the dart. Tip tap of the Vandal. Doesn't connect onto a head like he was hoping for. Now time is really just whittled down. Not winnable for him.
Yeah, he's been a demon in the clutch so far in this game, but this one is not a feasible situation.
Takes away a rifle though.
It's good economic damage. all of these peaks are going to hurt FaZe. But at the end of the day, they get the round win that's needed. And it's off the back, again, of Superman and Flyer anchoring the A site to perfection. BabyBay gives them that early information that they're coming through double door, and then Superman's just playing like a rat around all of his smokes, around the Viper wall, while Flyer supports him from further away. And I think when you look at how much space XSET are being given in mid, it's really that early round conditioning of aggression that stops them from taking it. In theory, XSET could go all the way into Nest and be putting tons of pressure on Flyer there. They could be flanking him, lurking on him. That's what Def, in fact, likes to do in a lot of these rounds.
Yeah.
But they're kind of timid in terms of their mid control because they're worried that BabyBay could be pushing. And this slow default has been getting them a lot of success so far on their attack side. So they seem reluctant to shift the game plan away.
Might see it now, though, with the XSET timeout. Different approach maybe to these upcoming rounds because these are the ones that are the most dangerous. You can't really let it slip away your lead like this. One round is all you need for XSET. Sometimes it can be the hardest, though.
See whether the game plan adjusts here. It looks like that's going to be the case, actually. Superman making his way over to the B site this time. Leaving A completely for retake. And maybe some level of aggression through halls, as you see BabyBay and Dicey posted up there.
Things down. Viper spit now over towards B main. You can see XSET are leaning there heavily. They're just playing a bit further back. Worried, I think, as well. Once more, that early conditioning that FaZe were doing where they were aggressively fighting for maybe elbow control or whatnot.
But this push from BabyBay has gotten them tons of really good information. There was a recon dart and a knife early, so XSET are pretty confident that there's not been a mid push. But BabyBay's getting them great info right now. It allows Dicey to go out and prod into mid with his operator. And if they come back towards cave at some point, BabyBay could even go for a pick.
It's a difficult one. And it's not looking ideal. Maybe a bit flustered from FaZe. They actually maybe forgot to buy into this one.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the guns on board. Poised has a classic.
And Dicey has enough money to buy him. Interesting. Players coming through, though. That's going to be the back of the head clipped. Cryo. Then straight back to the respawn queue. He's going to be wondering and watching the rest of his teammates.
And there's Poised with a classic. Impossible to anchor the site.
Still.
This is the final round.
Players all over the place now. The trick being found. Aaron, location revealed. They know he's just there. And FaZe are just swarming all the players. A bit of chaos there.
And I should have said this is potentially the final round because FaZe are able to survive, drag this one further. But you can see there was some chaos going on in that situation. Dicey's got 4K in the account.
That's an interesting one, isn't it?
And you've got a player on the team with a classic and another player with a Spectre. So, bit of chaos, but FaZe managed to come out the other end of it unscathed. They're building up their economy. They're not in a rough position anymore. And XSET are letting these rounds slip away.
Getting that final one just over the hurdle. Something to secure the map.
So far, it's been the story of FaZe throughout these playoffs. Sometimes letting big leads slip away from them, match points, map points slip away from them. This would be a big deal in the opposite direction. XSET need to be able to convert this.
Yeah, and it's still so slow by XSET. With the ults online, they could lean into a B hit with the null command. Something to just take out. Need a positioning. Dicey. And see him holding this high ground position right now. BabyBay's also pushed right up in mid, holding this angle.
Yeah, so Dicey doesn't have to worry about tunnel. FaZe have never gone for this defensive setup before.
Yeah, this could be with a backbreaker, but Dicey, okay. He's suppressed up, he actually cannot teleport to safety. Cryo, his way across the dash into the cloudburst, and he finds the target. Dicey removed from the fight. Is it going to be a fast attempt by FaZe Clan? They're going to try and pressure them and push them back with the Hunter's Fury. It stops them trying to get set up there. And as the wall goes down, Flyer was left caught. Troubles at his ankles. He didn't really know what was going on.
And XSET have got such fantastic post-plant positions here. Def picks off another one, finds the head of BabyBay, and it's all left to Poised.
How can he do this one? 1v4. Miraculous to stay in the series, or not the series, the map itself. 70 health remaining, and Zekken just takes the angle. He knows exactly where he was coming from there. That's going to be the 13-10. And XSET clawing her way back into this one, man. 13-10, winning.